The internet really does have this habit of taking stories or situations that were already pretty bad or worth talking about, and then sensationalizing them and spreading so much misinformation about them that all you can really do if you're a reasonable person at a certain point is start to feel bad for the original culprit. They did it with Tyler Catastrophe, they did it with Lily Tino, and now I think they're doing it with this lassie here, Baby Tony, and the Peter Pan situation. Because yes, she very obviously is obsessive, and it's worth talking about, and it sort of sparks this whole wider conversation about this almost fetishization about the Peter Pan fandom, which can be dated back literal decades now. But that also fits into a even wider conversation about how Disney actors are treated in the industry and how horrible Disney is, I guess, and how little rights they have whilst they're on the job. What I'm trying to make here is that there is a lot that can be talked about, there is a lot that can be criticized rightfully. However, the internet, they've done it again. They've done that thing again. They've done that thing where they just spread relentless misinformation and begin genuinely harassing and bullying a girl who is clearly going through something or has some kind of learning disability, focusing their anger towards the complete wrong direction. And it's this continuation of this running trend that has almost started on this channel, where I make a video complaining about someone and critiquing them, and then a second video immediately after having to run to their defenses because people take it way too far. Now, just so people don't think I'm flipping sides completely here or backtracking, I'll get into some of the new stuff that's come out that is genuinely quite creepy later on in this video. But first, I need to go over some of the misinformation that people are once again just blindly believing with no evidence whatsoever. Because the internet is a hive mind. We all know this by now. People are stupid. Many of these rumors I'm sure you yourself believe, so buckle up, and let's go through and dispel all of them. Rumor number one is that the Peter Pan actor that is being harassed in the videos has come out and made a statement about how uncomfortable he is with said interactions. This is a rumor that was being perpetuated on stream just 2 days ago. I stream on this channel every now and then and re-upload the clips to Shepherd Boy, by the way, so go subscribe to Shepherd Boy. We upload once or twice every day. There was a large portion of the chat that said the character actor for Peter Pan himself, the man himself from the videos, came out and released a statement. And this is the video that they're referencing. Now, let's get the obvious out of the way first. This bloke looks nothing like the bloke in any of the Peter Pan videos that Tony is interacting with. Secondly, let's have a listen to what he says in the first 10 seconds of the video.
Hello everyone, I'm Joshua, and I used to be a character performer for Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. It recently came to
Hear that? Did you catch that? Walt Disney World, Orlando, Florida. Now, I'm not too clued up on my American geography, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Orlando, Florida isn't the same as California. In fact, if I'm correct, they're on opposite ends of the country. Oh, but don't worry, that didn't prevent 370,000 people from liking the top comment on this video, claiming that this here is him. Or the second most liked comment saying, "You were tired," referencing this photo, once again, taken in Disneyland, California. This guy here looks more like Buzz Lightyear than Peter Pan. And he specifies factual information that literally makes it impossible for him to be the Peter Pan from the videos in the first 5 seconds, but still, people just hear what they want to hear. Like, no one's listening to this actual video. No one's listening. Now, I'll outline the other rumors first, and then we'll finish this one and then go through the others one by one. The other rumors include that she is hiding Airtags inside of the plushies that she gives, or crochet characters that she gives to Peter Pan so that she can locate him. There's also the rumor that she got banned from Disneyland, and there's a big crime because she only got banned for 2 weeks. How horrible. She deserves more. And then there's also the rumor that the Peter Pan actor got fired because of all this. And then there's also the rumor that all the Disney characters are quitting out of protest. These are things that people believe. Again, I'm sure a lot of you believe them. We're gonna dispel every single one. Let's start with this one, of course.
There is this girl that's going viral. I think her name is Tony or something like that. Who is obsessed.
This is what I mean, by the way. It's like, you wouldn't say that if you were the actual Peter Pan from the videos. It's like, are we regressing as humans, as listeners? Do people just not understand English anymore? Or is everyone just so hell-bent on hating this girl that they will hear exactly what they want to hear whenever someone says anything critiquing her? Because again, I want to make it so perfectly clear that I have got no ill will or hatred or even many criticisms towards the girl herself, as opposed to the people around said girl who should be telling her how weird and uncomfortable and strange her behavior is, and obsessive on top of that. Because she clearly lacks the self-awareness to be able to do it. And it's not out of maliciousness or malevolence, it's out of genuine ignorance. Like, she isn't trying to make anyone uncomfortable, she is literally unable to tell how uncomfortable or how weird her behavior is. And that obviously doesn't make it right. I'm not excusing the behavior, but I'm trying to explain the rationale behind it, because that's the only way you can really stop stuff like this from happening. It's on the people around her. It's on the people holding the camera for her, encouraging this behavior every video. It's on Disney themselves for not inputting correct safeguarding processes for their workers.
With Peter Pan at Disney World. And I used to be best friends with Peter Pan. If you don't know what I'm saying, I'm going to include pictures of my best friend. Since the controversy started going viral on TikTok, I just wanted to hop on here and talk about a few thoughts that I had. First thing is unrelated from the viral craze that's going on with Tony and her obsession with Peter Pan, but is more to do so with my opinions on the phrase best friend. When you are a character performer with Walt Disney World, they ask you to claim that you are best friends with a certain character, as not to spoil the magic for the children. I have a few thoughts on that. My biggest thought is that I think it's a little bit dumb, because most children that go to the parks obviously think that they're meeting a real life character, and that's magical and that's wonderful and that's great. However, the internet is supposed to be meant for people that are 13 years of age and older. If your parent is letting you on the internet before the age of 13, then that's going to be on the parents, not the performer. And I think that we can all collectively agree that if you are 13 years of age or older, you likely don't believe in Disney characters anymore, or at least that they're real, the same way that you wouldn't believe that Santa Claus is real at the age of 13. I always thought that this was a little bit disrespectful towards the performers, as it's nice to say that you are the role in which you've been cast in, just like you would if you were on Broadway or in a regional theater production. It's nice to have credit for the work that you do.
Yeah, I mean, that is totally unrelated from the wider discussion, but I mean, he's right. I agree with him. That is a really dumb rule, but that's just another case of Disney being shit.
Back to the obsession with Peter Pan. I myself, whilst working at Disney World, had a stalker. She came to my line every single shift that I was Peter Pan, and likely to the other 2 or 3 people that were cast in the role of Peter Pan at the time, and she would continue to circle the queue line over and over and over again to see Peter Pan. Now, this person was not a child. This person was easily in her late 20s, early 30s, and would come to my line time and time again, asking disturbing questions, asking a little bit SH type questions that the character attendant that was helping me on these sets was quite unsure of how to handle the situation. Now, while I did experience this awkward moment time and time again with this stalker, there were more moments that the Disney princesses endured with really creepy dads and really creepy older men.
Yeah, and in the latter half of this video, we'll have a look at some of the other Disney actors, some of the Disney actresses, the girls who, you know, do the female Disney characters, I guess, talk about their experiences with really creepy guys as well. Because it definitely is an issue that, well, to be honest, it's an issue that every character actor in Disney faces at some point. There's no way any of them get paid enough to deal with all that shit, by the way.
And do similar things, most of the time, much worse, and be handsy with the princesses on cast at Disney World. Now, I'm not going to outright say that I blame Disney for these instances, as they couldn't control what the guests were going to act like once they were in the park. However, I do think Disney needs to pay more attention to how the character performers are being treated when they're on set. There also would be times when different guests would just ask inappropriate questions, or questions that included cuss words or ugly language, and I think when you're there as the character performer, it's really hard to mitigate these types of situations and learn how to steer in the other direction when dealing with these things, because obviously Disney is a place that was catered towards children to begin with. So this type of language is never going to be appropriate to use, even as an adult. And obviously, yes, all the character performers are also adults, but it's hard for us to figure out how to mitigate that situation. And I know that all character performers would really appreciate it if we use our common sense skills to be nice. So next time you're there, if you're an adult and you want to meet a character, just remember to be respectful.
This is like such a reasonable video from like all this situation, all the stuff that's come from this. Yeah, I mean, people will use curse words thinking, oh, it's funny because in the children's movies, they don't, like Lilo and Stitch don't say swear words, so it's funny saying a swear word in front of them. But then it's like, it's sort of tough on them, because if you start bringing up some super dark shit, Peter Pan, for example, has to bring it, they have no choice but to bring it back to like one of 3 topics, which is like pirates, fairies, and green. If you brought up the Armenian genocide, you'd have to talk about, oh, the Armenian genocide. That reminds me of a time that I took out this whole group of pirates because they were trying to commit a genocide, let me tell you. Wish I was there. I would have stopped the Armenian. I would have stopped those goddamn, oh, why I order. He released a few follow-ups as well, but I want to go through the other rumors first before we have a look at these. Okay, next comes the AirTag rumor. No way Peter Pan Stalker put an Apple AirTag in the duck with a crying emoji and a praying emoji. You're gonna have to be praying a lot because, my God, you are lying. You are lying in God's name. You're gonna have to send him a big fat apology letter.
Whoa! Where did you get this?
I made it!
And then, oh my God, look, an Apple AirTag? That is crazy. It's just so weird how the top of the crochet isn't there anymore. The Apple AirTag is deceptively smooth. You can't even see the cross or the stitch of the yarn where the AirTag has been placed into. The colors are completely different from the original one as well. It's the most obvious AI photo I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life. Oh, but don't worry, because Albert fucking Einstein is actually in the comment section of this video, and they've confirmed in the most efficient way possible that it's a real photo. As you can see from this Google AI mode analysis here, there's some pretty irrefutable evidence that there is in fact an AirTag in the crochet, and that she was in fact using it to stalk Peter Pan wherever he went. It's hard to say definitively if this image was generated or modified by AI. However, analyzing the details of the image strongly indicates that the photo and physical object are completely real and not AI generated. Well, case fucking closed, eh? I don't know about you people, but to me, that seems like a wrap. I will say I'm taking the piss here, but a very reputable and trustworthy news company actually made a video confirming that this is in fact real, so I'm gonna have to eat my tongue in just a second, because let me tell you, this news video that I'm about to show you, I might as well be showing you Amnesty International how trustworthy they are.
Why was Tony never afraid the AirTag hidden inside the dolls would be discovered? Hardly anyone realized she had devised 3 methods to ensure she could pinpoint Peter Pan within the 500-acre amusement park, even if the dolls were thrown away. First, she knew a single doll might get discarded sooner or later, so she brought a brand new handmade doll every time they met. The steady stream of handmade gifts gradually put the actor at ease, who always regarded them merely as kind gestures from an ordinary fan. Even if an old doll was tossed aside, a new one would be handed to the actor without pause, keeping the tracking ongoing non-stop. Second, Disney rotates performers for the role of Peter Pan regularly. Over the span of 10 years, numerous actors have portrayed this character, each differing in build, facial expressions, and walking posture. Tony carefully photographed every performer's appearance and silhouette, memorizing their features thoroughly to tell them apart.
This is just conjecture. How the fuck do you even know this? This last part, the AirTag, if that was like a thing that actually came out, it's like fair enough how you get it, but it's obviously AI, it's fake, it's not real, it's about as fake as this guy's fucking voice. But this bit in the middle here is just completely made up shit. You're just making shit up about a woman online. A woman online who clearly has some kind of learning disability. I get so much shit for speculating that people are autistic. I don't give a fuck. I don't know if it's a hot take. Sometimes you don't need a fucking diagnosis. Sometimes you don't need them to make a video sitting down talking about how they were diagnosed at whatever age, or they figured it out at whatever age. Sometimes you can just fucking tell. If you know anything about autism or ADHD or neurodivergence, if you know anything about those things, you can sometimes just tell. Obviously, there are some people who are great at masking. Obviously, it's a spectrum, and some people don't have it as much as other people do. But in some cases, like this one, you can fucking tell. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I feel as though some people don't want to acknowledge it because they want to feel excused. They want to feel vindicated in their absolute hatred and bullying of the woman. The only reason I'm acknowledging it is because I want to treat her with the flack that she deserves. It's the same reason why it's so important to acknowledge that people like Nova Online have autism. It changes the way that you have to treat them. Same thing goes with fibs, by the way. Oh my fucking God, the same thing goes with fibs. And just to be clear before anyone comments, I'm not saying that Nova Online or fibs are innocent of anything. All I'm saying, well, fibs is innocent of being a predator for sure. Nova Online I don't know as much about. All I'm saying is the fact that he is clearly autistic does change the way that we need to interact with him. Anyway, let's finish this fucking beautiful video, eh?
Accurately. Even if the park switched out the actor unexpectedly, she could spot her target from afar at a glance and never mix people up.
What is she, fucking Hawkeye? What are you talking? You're talking about her like she's part of the Avengers.
After each brief interaction, regular visitors would leave once they finished taking photos. Tony, however, lingered behind. She walked slowly, following the performer the entire time, accompanying him through parades, position transfers, and stops for subsequent meet and greets. In this way, she mapped out every single route Peter Pan traveled throughout the park.
She's writing this guy is writing goddamn fan fiction about Tony meeting Peter Pan. This is the thing that confuses me as well. The videos that we have, the shit that can be confirmed, is bad enough, it's obsessive enough, it's creepy enough, it's worth talking about. You can talk about that all you want. Why do you need to make shit up? Can someone explain why she's tracking him? She's not, you're just a fucking moron. She's weird for that, what the hell? You're a fucking moron. This is obsession without the willow stick, you're a fucking moron. That's stalking and she can be arrested for that, but if it was a man that did it, there would be a SWAT team and the damn FBI team to arrest him. You are a fucking moron. And that's why restraining orders are around. You're a fucking moron. It's crazy how stupid people are believing these videos. I like you. Anyway, there's a girl we found on stream the other day as well. We found this girl who has been talking about the Peter Pan situation quite a bit. Yeah, she's a fucking moron. And not only that, but she is incredibly ableist. She's on it. Let me just show you these goddamn videos.
So the word on the curb is that the Peter Pan girl got banned from Disney for 2
Oh, really? That's the one? It's what, for 2 weeks? Crazy talk. I'm waiting for the evidence to come. You know, where'd you get that information? Was it one of those incredibly reputable, trustworthy news websites that we just watched from? I'll spoil it for you. Yes, the answer is yes. Either that or she literally just made it up.
You know why? You want to know why? Because
yeah, why? Tell me why. Tell me why. I would love to know why. I feel like I'm interacting with like a fan fiction video here, like an AO3 story that has 3 endings that I could pick from. Dora the fucking Explorer, except if Dora was a dumbass.
Oh, she's waiting for Peter Pan after his shift.
Oh my god, no way! That's crazy! I can't believe she would ever do such a thing. I am just so diddly damn excited for the evidence to show up in this video. It has to be here somewhere, right?
Yeah, outside of the park for him to like leave as a normal individual and like get into his car. Yeah, so stalker thing. So now he no longer has the security of the park. 2 weeks is definitely the perfect amount of time to get the mental help that you need.
Sorry, hang on. I'm noticing something. There's not like a screenshot or a verifiable news source or like a report or anything really that you're showing to verify or back this information up. I just couldn't help but notice that. Probably because there's none of it out there and you're just making shit up. Either that or falling for misinformation like a fucking dumbass because you are unable to think for yourself. You know, you're sat here being incredibly rude, saying that she needs mental help in this 2 weeks. She needs to get all this shit done to her. Whereas you yourself are so goddamn gullible that you are, like, you can never make fun of your old people for falling for AI. You are just as bad, if not worse. You don't even have the excuse of being like an old person. It's like, no, you're just a really fucking mean idiot who also ends up being incredibly ableist, by the way. Just wait for that. We'll get to that in a second.
To stop being a stalker and a crazed fan. I mean, even though this is the same woman who, even after Peter Pan tried to gently and still in character and nicely skip away, she chased him and backed him up against that fucking corner. So yeah, I mean, this tactic is definitely every single part of his body was screaming, help me or kill me.
Yeah, but you could do honestly, you'd make a great Goofy. Disney needs to hire you to fucking character act Goofy with that dumbass laugh you've got. It's incredibly annoying. Can you stop fake laughing to show how clever and like on top you are? You sound like a fucking moron right now.
She's autistic, it doesn't matter because she's not.
Well, actually, it literally does matter because she is unable to realize how uncomfortable she's making the people around her. Like, she fundamentally lacks the self-awareness or awareness of social cues to understand that what she is doing is wrong.
She's autistic, it doesn't matter because she's not on the spectrum to the point where she cannot be self-sufficient.
How do you know that? Again, do you like know this person? Do you have their medical documents? Do you like, you know, are you in their life in any way, shape or form here? I'll hear her out. What evidence does she have for this?
Okay. She's buying tickets. She's getting herself to the park. She's walking around the park for hours.
She's buying tickets. So do you know for a fact that she herself is the one buying the tickets? She's driving over to the park herself. Right, so in all the videos where she always has someone with her, you know for a fact that she's the one driving over to the park every single time, yeah? You know all this, right? Again, unless you're like her personal fucking friend or like her sister, this is all just fan fiction.
Lily has gotten herself dressed because she's in this Disney gear and she's almost 30 years old. If she required that kind of assistance, she'd have it there at the park. So, in that case, and people trying to make excuses.
Well, she does have people with her at the park every single time, basically. But also, for you to make the insinuation that every person on this goddamn, in your country who needs a guardian, has a guardian, is so incredibly privileged that I don't even know how to describe it. You know how many people out there are actually non-functioning, that don't have access to a guardian or someone to help them out because there just aren't enough to go around, or the proper services or social services just don't exist, or they're not developed enough. Also, do you think that people need to be autistic to the point of literally not being able to live properly by themselves in order for that to be a valid reasoning for their sometimes difficult to understand behaviors? It just sounds like you don't actually understand anything about neurodivergence or mental illness, or any illness for that matter, but you'll find that out in just literally 1 second here, because she has quite the take about Tourette's as well.
It sounds to me just like the guy who had Tourette's and was calling Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo the N-word, and everybody said, he has Tourette! Needs to be precautions taken.
So I didn't make a video on that at the time because that was, like, I would be one of those dumbass people that she's referring to here. I don't know if you know what Tourette's is, but he couldn't control that tick. It wasn't a live stream. The BBC could have cut that out of the final show, right? But they didn't, so the onus is on them for allowing people to see that, especially because they cut other things out of that broadcast. It's not John Davidson's fault for just being disabled. If someone called me the N-word, but it was a tick from their Tourette's, I personally wouldn't even expect an apology from them, because I wouldn't want someone to apologize for me for just being disabled, which they literally cannot control. I have no idea if that's a hot take or not, but I remember when that happened, the absolute fucking fury that I felt from people online who were so blatantly ableist or not understanding of what Tourette's is, but still having such vitriolic and determined opinions about it, despite having no fucking clue what they were talking about. That got my blood boiling more than, like, anything I've ever spoken about on this channel. I guess for those who don't know what happened, it was an award show, and John Davidson is an actor with Tourette's, and you had Michael B. Jordan on stage, along with another presenter, I forgot his name, and the guy with Tourette's yelled the N-word out. It wasn't a live broadcast, it could have been cut out, but they didn't cut it out. And this sparked a huge conversation. It was very controversial, as you can imagine. I guess I've just given my take on that, which is a couple of years late, but there you go, that's my take. Maybe not a couple of years late, a couple months, was it like a year ago? Something like that. No, not even. I didn't make a video on that at the time. I should have done. I fucking should have done. If it happened now, I would have made a video on it. For some reason, I was a little more concerned about having, like, contrary opinions to a lot of people, which is not a fear that I have anymore, luckily. Hence, you know, videos like the Funky Frog Bait one and stuff coming out. But regardless, let's watch the rest of this dumbass video.
Regardless of who it the fuck is. And one quick last thing before I go, because I just thought of this. I'm sure that he has reported that bitch, okay? Numerous times to management, upper management, CEO, whoever's running that place, who knows. But I'm sure that they've told him, well, here's what you have to do. I'm sure there's precautions as far as not being too defensive and still being your little character and staying in character. It's for her. Do these things for her, so it doesn't look like you're coming off like you don't like her. You still need to pretend like you're this character, and nothing for him. There's nothing to help him. You know what I mean? Someone in the comments said every time that bitch clocks in, checks in, badges in, or shows up to the gate, they need to contact his department so that he can either leave, get out of costume, or stay the fuck back in the back until he can safely leave. If you're still gonna let her enter the park and harass me, y'all need to take better precautions for me as well.
Yeah, just call the girl who clearly has a learning disability a bitch online in front of hundreds of thousands of people. Why don't you? And then write more fan fiction about how Peter Pan definitely reported her but isn't receiving the right help, which, again, you don't know. You're making it up. Like, this isn't even something that has been found in, like, some sort of fake news source. This is just straight up her making shit up.
For Disney, hey, you guys are really looking more and more like money-hungry hippos, okay? Because even strippers, dancers, 304s, if you will, have better security, bodyguards. They will put you out. They will ban you if you try to follow around an individual in costume on the job, if you know what I'm saying. So you're looking real sick right now. And another reason is because you're just now this month, I don't know if it was today, yesterday, the day before, banning this bitch after 10 years and after numerous Peter Pan characters because it's hit the FYP.
No, they didn't even ban her. Fucking arsehole, honestly. I regret the fact that you hit my FYP.
Banned for business! Because she left the park to continue her stalking, and you're like, can't happen. You have to be inside the park where you're spending those dollar bills. Oh, you want to take it outside where we're not making a dime and he's out of character? How about no, ban 2 weeks. See you in 2 weeks. Keep it inside the park, bitch.
I can't believe how fucking shameless this woman is. Oh my god, yeah, by the way, she made a video about how the Disney characters are quitting in protest. I fucking guarantee you that her source for the information she acquired for said video was this comment here from Big Mama saying Winnie the Pooh quit too. Because she's liked that comment. I guarantee you that's the only source or evidence that she had for this video. But I'm not like her, so I'm not gonna say that for certain. So you know what I don't guarantee you? I retract that. It might be. It wouldn't surprise me. There you go, that's a responsible way of saying it. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the only source she has for that video. Whatever source she does have, we'll have a look at it, don't worry. It's about as fucking meaningless. That much I can guarantee you of. Oh no, it's literally the I swear to God, I didn't know this, but the video is an actual TikTok response to the comment.
Oh, this tea is piping fucking hot. What? Winnie the Pooh quit?
Holy shit, there's no way. On my life, I did not know that this video is a direct response to Big Mama's comment. But I didn't even need to be responsible. The guarantee it was her only source for it. This is how she acquires information online.
In like solidarity with Peter Pan? Bro, do you know how embarrassed you have to be as Disney right now?
You know how embarrassed you have to be to just believe shit because fucking Big Mama commented it on your page? You got the fucking audacity to insult this woman here? Again, you don't even have the excuse of being like an old person or having a learning disability to the same level that she has at least. I don't want to make any assumptions, maybe you do, but she's clearly further along the spectrum if you have one. It's like, oh, I can't believe she's so dumb. She's 30 years old and she thinks that the actor is a real Peter Pan. So first of all, no, she clearly knows that it's not real Peter Pan, sure, but you think that false information online with baseless, unverified evidence is real. Like, you're just as bad, you're just as gullible as a fucking 4-year-old who thinks Superman's coming to their birthday party. I'm not even taking the piss here. You are just as gullible. Like, you're an actual idiot. An actual idiot.
Are you kidding me? And I seen in the one video that Peter Pan was, of course, being chased by that fucking bitch. And he reached out because he seen the Mad Hatter and like the Queen of Hearts walking by. And he was like, hey, stop. And she still didn't stop. She still didn't stop. So now you got other characters quitting in solidarity. That's how you fucking do it. It's a protest. Now, I didn't hear of anybody else quitting, but excuse me? I love it.
You're so easy to please. You're like, look how happy you are over this complete bullshit. Someone could probably just walk into your life and tell you that, like, Trump is not the president anymore, and you go, well, I'm so happy right now. Trump's gone. Great, amazing. Because that's all it takes for you. All I'm gonna say is, do not join the Is David Attenborough Dead subreddit, because your heart will break approximately every half an hour. Oh, and just for the record, Winnie the Pooh obviously didn't fucking quit in solidarity. It's bollocks. I think it came from, like, a parody account that's been deleted. Maybe someone tried to, like, genuinely convince people that they were Winnie the Pooh and that they quit. It doesn't matter. It's bullshit. It's obviously bullshit. Anyway, oh my god. Oh no, guys, they're gonna fire Peter Pan. Peter Pan's getting fired from Disney for being a victim of harassment, I guess. I've actually found a news anchor here who has only ever told the truth in the past, so just prepare yourselves for this.
Do you mean to tell me that they didn't warn him about this bitch when he applied for the job? I guarantee you they didn't. I guarantee you after he was hired and did his training, they brought it up after that. And then what was he supposed to do? What was he supposed to do?
I don't think your guarantees mean much, to be honest there, mate. Guarantees mean about as much as the age verification on a porn website. Sorry, corn website for farmers and stuff.
There was at least 2 other Peter Pans that I've seen in pictures with her prior to this current Peter Pan. Yeah, so what that tells me is if and when he quits or gets fired with all this debacle, they'll just fire him.
Yeah, because you've done so much substantive research and you've looked through all the logs more than anyone else, and you can come to these really complex conclusions based on all the evidence that you found and have provided, of course. You're the fucking scholar of this situation that we should all be listening to.
A new Peter Pan. They have waiting lists full of characters that would love to be that character, that have no idea what's going on. They'll apply and be an innocent patsy, and it's going to escalate. That's why you don't give them 2 weeks. That's why you don't give them 2 weeks and then let them come back. She was already escalating before.
By the way, there's people in, like, the comments here who just don't understand autism that she's also liking because she obviously doesn't fucking understand autism either. Autism's not an excuse either. That's true, it's not an excuse, sure. Like, it doesn't excuse the actions. It's still just as creepy, just as mental, whether or not she's autistic or not. The intent is very different, and that's important. Yes, maybe we have interests that remain regardless of age, maybe we do not get verbal cues too well, but deadass, we know if we are being creepy. No, that's not true. Maybe for some people, yes. Maybe for some autistic people, yes. For most autistic people, you know if you're being creepy. But there are some people who are so lacking in social awareness, so bad at picking up social cues, that they can't tell when they're being creepy. Do you think being autistic is just like a buff or a debuff in a video game that alters your stats slightly? It's like, sometimes, I guess maybe you could describe it that way, but there are some people who are genuinely non-fucking functional. There are some people who will have such dramatic episodes that they'll start getting violent or crying hysterically because of the texture of their jumper. And this isn't because they want to be a nuisance or they're trying to creep people out or they know they're making people uncomfortable but just don't care. It's because they literally can't control it. Not only are you a fucking idiot, but you are undoubtedly ableist. It's as simple as, like, I don't know, have you ever followed the mantra, if you don't know what you're talking about, then just shut the fuck up?
For the band. So what do you think's gonna happen after she's been gone from Peter Pan, up here in her head, imagining and creating all of these scenarios in her head for 2 full weeks, after being there for years every other day? 2 weeks isn't enough time for her to get her shit together. 2 weeks is enough time for you to find a new Peter Pan. That's what this is about.
Yes, that's what it's about. That's why they banned her for 2 weeks, which didn't even fucking happen, because they fired Peter Pan, which didn't even fucking happen, and they're finding a new one, which also didn't even fucking happen. Anyway, I think we're done with my favorite Wattpad. Oh no, we're not done. There's one more video. Look how happy she is in this. It's good to see her in a good mood, at least.
Link me, boo. Send me the link. Because the thing is, we need to know everything. Did he quit? Was he fired? Did he have to resign?
The fucking irony of this girl here asking for a source or a link or a place to where this fucking commenter got the misinformation, where when she hasn't done that at any point in any of her videos or even any of her fucking research, baffles me. How does she not realize the blaring irony in what she's doing here? It's disgusting.
In his position, we need to know, because I said yesterday specifically, 2 weeks, giving that girl a 2-week ban is not enough for her to mentally get herself together. 2 weeks is long enough for you to hire a new Peter Pan.
You know what the worst part is? It's how smart and smug she thinks that she is. Like, she says something, she says the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your goddamn life, and then she pauses and giggles at you because you're that beneath her and she's that much smarter than you. She's already thought about this, mate. She's 3 steps ahead. You're not even on her level. Where is she? Left, right, up, down? Is she even real? Is she just a figment of your imagination? It doesn't even matter, man. She's running fucking rings around you. You don't even have time to think about all that shit.
The new Peter Pan has nothing, probably has no idea what's going on. Yeah. So, they're just lambs to the slaughter. That's all that it is. They're just throwing them in because
it's ironic that you bring up lambs because you are one of the biggest sheep that I've ever seen on this app.
Someone just pointed out, she's not obsessed with the guy in the suit. She's obsessed with the idea of Peter Pan. She's obsessed with the character of Peter Pan.
That's not even true. How do you know that? You're making shit up again. She clearly is aware that it's an actor, right? She references the actor all the time. And you also said that she was waiting for him outside, stalking him outside of Disneyland, waiting for him to come out in his non-uniform, right? Just as a normal bloke. That's what you said just a couple videos ago. Fucking arsehole, honestly. I think we're done with everyone's favorite Wattpad writer. I'm gonna circle it back a little bit to this bloke here.
Joshua here. Needless to say, it has been a very long and a little bit overwhelming day. I just wanted to come on here and address some more serious things really quick about the situation at hand. The first thing is I want to make it very clear that myself and the brand of our podcast, we do not stand hate or bullying or anything like that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad he's saying this, by the way. What's happened here is he's made a very reasonable video to start off with, and then it's the exact same thing I did, and then the fucking internet goes mental, starts bullying this poor woman in a very unreasonable fashion, starts making shit up about her, like they always fucking do, and then you have to sit down and realize, you know, she's not the biggest problem here. At all. That woman we just looked at, who was making shit up and being horrible to her, she is 1,000 times worse than the woman stalking Peter Pan or whatever. Way worse. Because she knows what the fuck she's doing. Like, she knows she's not done any research. She knows that she's making shit up, but she just doesn't care. Whereas the woman who is making Peter Pan uncomfortable, allegedly, isn't aware of any of that shit. She doesn't know how uncomfortable she might be making someone. She is unable to distinguish between someone who's uncomfortable and someone who's comfortable.
So, and I have been made aware that Tony is dealing with quite a bit of hate on her page, and while I do understand that what's going on with all of the people that are obsessed with the Disney characters is a little strange to some people, it is a thing that happens, and we have no idea what those people are dealing with and what they're going through mentally, emotionally, what trauma they've been through and things like that, and we are not here to sit and speculate. So I would appreciate it if we could be a little bit kinder to everybody, and especially in people's comment sections, and give a little bit of grace. I also wanted to address something else because I think a lot of people missed it from the initial video that I had made, but I had a different stalker altogether. Tony was not my stalker.
Oh my, yeah, again, I can't believe that he's having to fucking clarify this because people are so dumb. They're so dumb that they thought he was referring to Tony and that it was all, I don't know, it's just so fucking dumb. I could cry. I could fucking cry at how dumb people are. I could cry.
That very clear. A person sent a picture or a video or something like that of me interacting with Tony at some point when I was at the parks. Also, I'm going to make it very clear, I was at Disney World, I was not at Disneyland. But I don't recall this moment, and I had thousands of interactions with guests all the time. But I want to make it very clear that Tony herself was not my stalker. I had a couple of people that were stalking all of the Peter Pans at Disney World, and we all kind of knew about who they were. We would notice them whenever they would come through our queue lines all the time. Also, let's just remember to be spreading love and light in this situation regardless. I know it's fascinating to people and people want to hear Disney lore and learn more about things and stuff like that, but I'm not here to spread negativity. I'm just here to spread education and awareness of what's going on, and I want everybody to know that. I've also seen a few comments talking about like exposing Disney and bringing down Disney, and I want to make it very clear that that is not my goal here in any shape, form, or fashion. I still am a huge fan of Disney. I still visit the parks from time to time. I love Disney. I love the magic that they bring to the world and the light that they bring to the world.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed Disney when I visited, and I thought it was cool, and I liked some of the movies, and I, got a little nostalgia for it, but it don't mean that I also can't acknowledge how fucking evil the company is, you know what I mean? Like, you can do both.
Movies, through their parks, through their imagination, and everything else. So I want to make that very, very clear that I don't stand hate towards anybody, whether it's Tony, whether it's Disney, or anything like that. And yeah, that's all. I just wanted to pop on here and say that spread love and light, not hate, and I would appreciate if we could all do that in the light of the crazy debacle that is what's happening.
There's also another former actor that came out about this whole thing, gave their 2 cents, so I want to give her a listen as well.
Let's talk Peter Pan Girl and what it's really like working as a Disneyland face character. I was good friends with the Evil Queen for about 8 years, working in Fantasyland. Similar to Peter Pan, I was also a roaming character. The characters that you see walking around, not really making lines, no set location. I've seen the videos. Honestly, it is not the first I have seen of this behavior. Peter Pan Girl was definitely not the first, and probably won't be the last. I feel like it just so happens to be going viral now, but this happens a lot more often than you think. Picture this. You are in costume, walking around.
Yeah, I mean, Peter Pan in particular, it seems as though there's been like this weird fandom for him and all the actors surrounding him for decades now, from the Tumblr days, right? It's only going viral. Well, I mean, it already did go viral on Tumblr and stuff. This is just TikTok's first experience with the viral Peter Pan craze. And now that people are on the lookout for it, I'm sure there's going to be someone else who gets exposed for being like a bit too fond of him in the future.
Picture this. You are in costume, walking around, doing your job, making magic for everyone, ages young and old, because everyone can enjoy a character. You notice that you are being filmed, which is fine. You are allowed to film characters in Disneyland. Then you notice that this person or group of people is not only filming you for a quick 30-second interaction, they are filming you for the whole duration of the time you are out there. They are following you. Sometimes aren't even saying anything. They are just following you strictly for the content. And then you go to your next set. They're there. And then the next one. And then you're at your last set of the day. And lo and behold, they have come to almost every set.
I had someone film me on the train once because I guess they must have recognized me or something, but they were so obvious about it that I couldn't believe what I was looking at. So I was sat there like trying to look around, oh, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice. And then they had their phone just like that. And it was just clearly on and like facing a certain direction, and they were clearly filming me. And they were like, oh, there's a nice little chair here and the little map of London. Oh, it's nice over there. And got a little advert. Oh, there's a poem on that billboard there. It's nice. Where am I going? Charing Cross? Is that where I'm off to? Oh, nice. Oh, this is lovely. It's a little hot in here, isn't it? Like, oh my God. Anyway, yeah. It was like that. I'm not saying I understand, like, what it's like to get stalked for hours on end at Disney. But it's not as though like that shit was weird for me. I can only imagine what it must be like to experience this kind of shit.
Almost every interaction. So when you're seeing these clips online, you are seeing only a fraction of what actually happened. Since Peter and the Queen were characters that just roamed around outside, they usually did not get a host, which means the middleman, the person that could say things that they can't, there was none of that. I think Peter did an amazing job. We couldn't tell guests to leave. Peter would be a little snarky. Typical interactions are supposed to be around 90 seconds.
Thing is, Peter, it helps that Peter is like snarky and immature and rude to girls in the original source material though. Because it's like he is still being true to character, but also being like, can you fuck off now? I don't want you here no more.
Wanting to play along. And like I said, there is nothing wrong with filming. But when a character is trying to take a picture with a child, or a line starts forming because you have taken 5 minutes with a guest, and now the line that you have not formed, the guests have formed for themselves, they are all expecting that 5-minute interaction. And you've only got 5 minutes left of your set. You are facilitating everything. I'm not saying every guest that spent a little too long caused problems. Now, the obsession with specific characters and specific character performers, I could be here forever. Some of these guests are not coming weekly, they're coming daily. I'm sure you can see where this can start to become a little stressful, especially working for a company where going viral online for a character video isn't always a good thing. There were many guests who I saw weekly who were very respectful, who truly loved the characters, who just wanted to go up there, tell a little story, get a picture, off on their merry way they went. I feel like there is a lot more to talk about here. There's a lot of good and there's a lot of weird. There is a way to adore your favorite character and keep it respectful.
Yeah, and yeah, this is a very reasonable video, and I really like that unlike a lot of the fucking videos on this situation, she doesn't just bully Tony horribly the whole time. She didn't even make up any stories to get mad at or say any ableist bullshit. Who knew that was an option? There's another video as well, and this video is fucking goated. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm gonna play this whole video in its entirety. I'm also gonna give a special shout out here to the creator, Kayla Knows Disney, who tragically is the smallest creator that we have covered this video, which is such a shame because she is the best one by far. So go show her some love.
Peter Pan girl really put an Airtag inside the gift she gave him. Did she actually get banned from Disneyland? Did Peter Pan get fired? All of this is completely made up. The Airtag picture is an AI picture from an account that's pretending to be the Peter Pan in the video. The banning thing has actually no source at all. Someone just completely made that up. And Peter Pan getting fired? Why would this get him fired? It's so crazy how quickly this kind of stuff spreads and how quickly you all believe it. This girl now has strangers all over the internet calling her a stalker when that's not what's happening here. And there are fake accounts out here speaking for this performer when he hasn't said anything at all. And you know how I know he hasn't said anything? Because he still works there, and you can't talk about this when you work as a Disneyland character. How do I know? I used to be one. This whole thing has gotten way too big. You guys are way too comfortable bullying people online that you don't know anything about. When news like this goes viral, a lot of creators will come on here and pretend that they're a part of it directly and make things up because it's going to get clicks. I saw a lot of videos of Peter Pan in the parks, and you know what's really funny? The videos of Peter Pan himself, the videos being taken by adults in the park, have all these comments underneath it that are talking about how cute Peter is, how fun that is. But if it's an adult in the video with Peter Pan and you can see both of them in the frame, that girl is so crazy, that person is so weird, Disney adults are so cringe.
No, it is okay, it is different. The first like minute of this video is such tremendous fairness and fucking facts that I salute this woman to high heavens. And I do understand the comparison she's making here. It is different though, because she lingers around way too long, because a comment is a comment. You're not there, you're not taking time out of someone's day. She lingers around too long. She's been there every week for 10 years. It is a different situation entirely. Now, I was going to go over some videos of, like some new videos of baby Tony that have been released about, you know, her interacting with Peter Pan and stuff. But honestly, due to the theming of this one and it sort of being a bit more of a defense video and being like, all right, everyone needs to calm the fuck down type thing, I'm not sure exactly be appropriate. You got this one here. I'll show one, I guess. You got this one here that really just goes to show the extent of how often she's at the parks, where videos that are taken of other people meeting Peter Pan just have her in the background.
Penny, oh boy, high five, it's good to see.
Yeah, you can see this one, there's a kid here, and then she's just sort of roaming about in the background. So yeah, that one's got a lot of traction, but other than that, I just, you know what? I think I'm done. This video is basically a call to action. Like, yeah, you can call it obsessive, you can call it creepy, and you can criticize her for that and try to, you know, gently nudge her towards the right direction, or criticize the people around her for being, for encouraging the behavior, or not putting a stop to it, or making her aware of how uncomfortable she could potentially be making people. You can criticize Disney for not putting the correct precautions in place, or not treating their workers correctly when harassment happens. But when it comes to just bullying this girl, or being ableist, or making things up, you need to fucking stop. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this. So, as always, if you enjoyed watching, hopefully you did, by the way, but if you enjoyed watching, be sure to like, subscribe. Even if you didn't enjoy watching, like, subscribe, and comment, because it benefits me a lot, and I, enjoy that. So, yeah. Bye.